In the 1980s and 90s, Double Dragon was a well-known name not to be taken lightly, though the series was commonly a beat-em-up loved by many arcade junkies and NES players alike. But in 1994, Trade West, along with Universal Pictures, nearly destroyed Double Dragon in 1 year. Trade West attempted to ride the 2D fighter success and released the awful Double Dragon 5 The Shadow Falls for the Super Nintendo, Jaguar, and the Sega Genesis, which was actually based on the average cartoon show of the same name. This put the series pretty much on life support. Then, November of 1994, Double Dragon the movie snuffed whatever life remained in the series. However, back in Japan, Technos decided they would produce and develop the next Double Dragon fighter. Though having not seen the train wreck that was Double Dragon the movie, they decided to base their game off one of the worst movies in history, Double Dragon, thus sealing their fate and alienating the fans around the world. On March 3rd, 1995, Double Dragon released on the NEO Geo MVS, you know, the red arcade cabinet, and then again on the AES on the 31st of March. Though it was your typical SNK fighter, it received hardly a word from the critics and faded into obscurity. In 1996, Technos filed for bankruptcy and went out of business. Urban Plant Ltd. then got the rights to Fight 2 and ported it for the PlayStation in Japan, and that's the title we'll be looking at for this video. Double Dragon, or as I call it, Double Dragon Fight 2, is a 2D sprite-based fighter. The game features beautiful hand-drawn graphics and animation similar to King of Fighters and Fatal Fury. The game features 10 playable characters at the start of the game and gameplay that mirrors Capcom's popular Street Fighter II, though some gamers thinks it runs a little bit too slow, even though the button layout and super moves are nearly identical, as is the pacing. Example, Billy and Jimmy's Fireball, Shoryukens, and Tornado Kicks are the same as Ryu and Ken. The only unique thing I've seen in this game was the ability to strike your opponent on the ground. Now, while very difficult to pull off, this move depletes a significant chunk of their health. Charge attacks also come in handy for Double Dragon Fight 2 as well. When your meter allows, each character employs a different charge attack in battle. Like Amon the Ninja will call down lightning similar to Shinobi, and the Lee brothers actually transform into their classic Dragon Geese. What's cool about this henshin is both bros get all new attacks and supers that last until either their foe falls or they do. Double Dragon Fight 2 features 3 main modes: Overdrive, Normal, and to cash in on the start of 3D fighters like Sega's Virtua Fighter, Urban added a 3D mode called Mini 3D just for the PlayStation. Here players could mess around with the camera and Billy's stage, and fighters had this hideous flat pop-up look to them. Most people pretend this mode doesn't exist, and well, you see why. It's terrible and unnecessary. While the port is pretty much okay, it's not true to the NEO Geo original. For some reason, parts of the game were removed entirely, like the awesome breakable stage animations. Having played the MVS original, I noticed this right away playing this port. Also, the characters look pretty pixelated at times, especially during the brothers' transformation sequences, which is a shame since the PlayStation games were usually very good-looking arcade ports. AI in this game is downright insane and poorly done. It actually reminded me of the difficulty for Turtles Tournament Fighter. Incredibly cheap and very aggravating. Also, since I can't read kanji or whatever the Japanese script is called, I had no way to lower the game's difficulty for this video. Even as a Street Fighter II veteran, I stood no chance against the game's CPU. It was like fighting Vega on full star difficulty, so yeah. The music, on the other hand, while great and cool to listen to, doesn't loop correctly and ends up stopping and starting up at the end of each round, which was very distracting and annoying throughout the matches for me. Also, it's all new compositions and doesn't really tribute the franchise as a whole, which is a problem. Still, I have to say the worst thing about this port, like many PlayStation games, is definitely the load times, which NEO Geo fans didn't need to wait 40 seconds or more for each match or character to load. Other than that, Double Dragon is a really fun fighting game that can be played solo or against a friend. I'm happy I got a chance to play this again though, I just wish it was the MVS original and not the PlayStation port. However, if you've never played this rare fighter, Technos' final game is a heck of a send-off for Double Dragon fans. It was really nice to see a lot of different characters from throughout Double Dragon's history, and even some new faces too, like a ninja trying to get revenge for his family, which was slayed by Koga, the game's final boss, and the guy in the movie, never mind. Rebecca is a shrine maiden, I guess she's out for revenge, I don't know. Dalton is a street brawler from Italy, and Cheng Fu from China is loosely based off the character in Drunken Master 2, which also starred Jackie Chan. Alright, so I know what you're thinking. This game looks pretty decent, but is it really worth owning? And the answer is yes. Double Dragon as a fighter isn't all that bad, and thanks to Monkey Paw re-releasing this game for the PlayStation Network, it won't cost you an arm and a leg to play it. Believe it or not, Double Dragon NEO Geo was never reprinted and only exists as limited copies in Japan. So buying this game off PSN for just $5.99 is a lot cheaper than hunting down an MVS cab. So, if you're looking for a fun 2D fighter that just screams the 90s, then check out Double Dragon Fight 2 and keep an eye out for more retro delights thanks to Monkey Paw's Retro Rush, which will be going on until February 18th, 2014. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ends another Retro Mondays. Thanks for watching. If you have any games you'd like to see this year on RM, leave your suggestions in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share this video like internet wildfire, folks. Hopefully this turned your Monday into a fun day. Until next time, gamers, God bless and happy gaming. I'll be seeing you.